So was A Baby already out before you signed?
Yeah, A Baby was out like a year before I signed.
You made that for, what's his name?
Baby.
Baby.
I had him in mind.
Okay.
When I heard it in the club.
Okay. Did you ever go see him DJ?
Yeah, I was in the club when I first heard people saying it, and he was DJing. But when I heard that, I was like, I can make this worldwide. I can make this something that the whole world can understand.
So it was a chant that already was happening.
Yeah, they was chanting it in the club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you got the idea from.
Yeah.
Now, where was Baby at? Because he from Texas. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Nah, when I made the A Baby song, that allowed him to go get that Texas situation.
So what's our relationship like now?
I ain't got no relationship with him. When I got out and burned it out, I hit him up and told him I needed him to help me make some moves. He told me he wasn't rocking with music. I told him exactly how I felt. Like, I'm fighting a second-degree attempted murder charge, and I'm telling you I need you to make something happen for me, and you giving me excuses. So it wasn't nothing else for me to say to him after that. If I put you in a position and then you see me take a fall, you supposed to do everything in your power to pull me back up. And he just never did that. Even when I got into it with my record label that I was signed with, I called him and told him, hey, I need you to reach out and let them know this, what they doing ain't right. You know what he told me? I ain't getting in it. Because I want to still be able to go back to the label and still be able to do business with them. But you the one who introduced me to these people. You the one who told me, hey, sign this deal. Just sign it. I'm telling you, I got your best interest. Sign this. But when it went bad and I told him I need you to jump in here with me and help, he ain't do that. He told me he ain't getting involved with it. That's a snake to me.
Word with me, yeah, you know BT. Know how it go, shout out OCT. No real cap, call out what we see. Whole game ready, baller blitz on 3. No, you can't stand on your own 2 feet. I already know you can't ball with me. Come chop it up with the squad and me. They get a letter, they calling me. BallerAlert. 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 BallerAlert.
BallerAlert, welcome to the BallerAlert Show podcast, available everywhere you get your podcast. Please continue to like, subscribe, and share our YouTube page at BallerAlert TV. One time for Revo. I go by the name of Ferrari Simmons.
I go by the name, you know, BT.
OCT, what up?
Hurricane Chris in the building.
Hey!
What's good?
What's up,
good?
man?
What's good?
How you feeling?
Yo, I'm chilling, man. I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
That's good, man. Welcome to the show.
Nah, I see you pulled up something nice, man. You stay in Atlanta?
Yeah, I got a spot out here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that ain't a rental. That's all.
Nah, I don't do no rentals.
He said he got a spot out here. That means he got a couple different
Yeah, I
spots.
don't do no rentals and no leases.
Pulled up nice. Took you a little minute to park it, but you know.
I still can't drive. It don't matter how.
Hurricane Chris in the building. How's it going, sir?
Man, I'm good. I'm blessed to wake up this morning. I had pancakes, bacon, and eggs. You know, and I'm up. I'm here.
Sound like you had a good morning.
Yeah, that's every morning.
we gonna get in your business a little bit. Is that cool?
Yeah, man.
Cool.
You know, I ain't nothing you can't ask me. I ain't got no
sound good to me.
No bad skeletons that I need to hide. I'm 100 about me and what I got going in my life. Okay. My grandma said if you need to hide it, then you don't need to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday.
Appreciate
When your
that.
birthday just passed, like in February?
Yeah, it was March the 7th.
March 7th?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We in your season.
Yeah.
What'd you do for your birthday?
I just chill at the house. I ain't too big on spending my birthday around people that ain't in my everyday life. Like, that's a day that I think I'm supposed to spend around the people who mean the most to me, which is my son, my significant other, you know, the people who there for me every day. That's who I celebrate my life with. I find it kind of goofy to go celebrate your life with a bunch of people that ain't helping your life and ain't around you throughout your life daily, you know. That's something that I take as a private thing, you feel me? I don't even make posts or nothing like that. I be seeing people say, it's my birthday. I'm like, you asking to be celebrated, you know? For my birthday, it's a sentimental value with that, you know?
Let's talk about those values, you know, going back to Shreveport, Louisiana, which is where you're from. Growing up, you know, what was it like for Chris before Hurricane Chris?
Yeah, is Chris your real name?
Yeah, Chris, my real name. I'm a junior. My son named Chris too. My daddy named Chris. Yeah, a lot of Chris going on. Straight up. Man, Shreveport crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Shreveport is like, that's my hometown, but it's been real gangster in Shreveport for a real long time. Since I can remember. Like, my dad and them was with the shit. Like, I used to hear them talking about missions that they just went on when they came in a house, so I can lie to you and tell you it's been peaches and cream and I grew up like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but I'd be lying. Okay. It really was, it was a treacherous town, and I think I witnessed a lot of stuff a kid should have never witnessed, you know. Like, I really was right in the mix. At 3 years old, I was watching my daddy break down a whole key on the table right in front of me, and by the age of 5, I knew what it was, and I was repeating it to my mama, and my daddy was whooping me. So it's like I grew up right in the mix of some real deal street, you know, type cats.
Did it affect your upbringing in any kind of way? Did your dad go to jail or anything for it?
Yeah, he did. He did 4.5 years, but it was over marijuana. It wasn't over what they, you know, really was doing. He did 4.5 years over marijuana. Mm-hmm. So it definitely affected me. It taught me it helped me as well though in some positive ways, because I'm aware of my surroundings. Like when I'm in my house, I watch everything that's going on, and I don't sleep deep. Like all of these is some conditioning from growing up inside the trap house. Like, well, I wouldn't say trap house, but in a house where they really did a lot of, you know, illegal activities.
Just certain environments.
Yeah, I grew up in that environment. So at the age of probably 5, my daddy used to give me the strap, take everything out of it, and tell me wash the door. It got to the point where when all his friends came in, they unloaded their straps and handed it to me too. And they used to laugh at the fact that I used to like to hold the straps. And this was probably before the age of 5. This was probably 4 years old. So I was sitting on the couch with 3 or 4 tools watching the door, like thinking I'm doing what my daddy told me to do. And still to this day, I watch the door. Anywhere I go, I'm watching the door. If your homeboy walking here right now, he could be here for you, but I'm gonna look at him up and down because he's stepping into a zone where he's close enough to.
That's what you
do
did to me when you walked in. You looked at me up and down before you shook my hand.
Yeah, I gotta make sure your pocket's empty. Ain't nothing. You ain't reaching for nothing. Like I'm conditioned like that. So
Soldier.
You did give me a pause there.
Yeah, I gotta make sure everything is good. Once somebody get close enough to do something to you, then it's done. Mm-hmm. So you gotta be scanning what's going on before somebody can even, you know, get that close or have enough time. Sometimes it come off as being rude, but when a person walk up to me and speak, the first thing I'm doing is looking down at their waistband and their pockets before I even respond. And that's just from growing up in that environment.
Where was your mom at at this time, like when you were doing all this?
My mama was right there telling my daddy, no, don't do that. And he was like, shut up.
Okay.
Like, what did your mom do for work? Like, what did your mom do?
My daddy put her in beauty school, and after that she got her own beauty shop.
Okay. Oh, okay.
She had a couple of beauty shops.
And your dad was just outside trapping.
Outside. He was a different type of dude. Like, besides protecting myself and everything around me, he ain't allowed me to indulge in nothing else. And he always used to preach to me like, this ain't what you want to do. Now, they would hand me their straps and tell me to hold them, but if you fired up some gas in front of me, you might get stumped. It was all about respect. Like, if one of his homeboys came around me and lit something up, it was a wrap for him. I'm talking about bad. It would go bad right there on the spot. Like, I done literally watched my dad almost get rid of people for walking in my presence and indulging in drugs. So
that had to affect you when you were in school too. So, like, you know, when you went to school, how was Hurricane Chris in school?
In school, I mean, like I tell you, he taught me the right things as well. So it wasn't like he raised me to just be stupid. He just raised me to be aware of my surroundings and protect myself. So when it came to school, my daddy didn't play no games. A lot of my aunts on my daddy's side of the family was in the educational system. Both of my aunties drive school buses. I got 2 twin teachers in my family that's twin sisters. They daddy was in the educational system. So that's something that we ain't never play no games about. And he ain't never played with me about no education. Like, I had to come home, do my homework. I had to be in the house before the street lights came on. So he ain't raised me to be stupid. I grew up around, you know, some stuff that he was forced to be a part of because he had to provide for his family. And it ain't like he had another house he could send me to. You know, back in the Gap, it was different. It was like...
The Gap? What's the Gap?
Back in the day. Okay. Yeah, back in the day. It's like your spot was your spot. Your family was right there with you, you know. So I just had to witness a lot coming up.
Now how was the neighborhood that you grew up in?
It was treacherous. I grew up in Cedar Grove. it was a hell of a neighborhood. Like, I'd be outside playing 1 minute, and then I see a car pull up, 3 dudes hang out the window, and they light the house up across the street, you know, and like the house to the left of that, they went to the gas station, came back, and almost everybody got killed except the mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids I used to play with, they mama took them to the gas station, and they was killed at corner stores, and like it really was a treacherous neighborhood. I can remember so many nights of me and my cousins playing in the living room on the floor and having to hide under beds when we hear gunshots going off. Like, I really grew up in that type of neighborhood, you know, so it is what it is.
You know, you start rapping at 10 years old. That's like 5th grade.
Facts.
And
Yeah.
What got you into rap?
I entered a high school talent show with some cats that was like around the corner from me, some older cats. I always hung with older kids. I ain't never hung with kids my age in my entire life. I got one friend that was like 2 years younger than me, but he was way more advanced than me, so that's the only person. But I got into rap because I entered a high school competition with some high school cats, and we won first place, and everybody said it was because of me. So I stayed across the street from the high school. Everybody came to my house, and after they got out of high school, I got out of middle school, elementary at 2:30, 2 o'clock. So they came to my house, and, you know, they used to stand in front of my house and tell me to rap. So I just got popular in my neighborhood for rapping before I can even, you know, understand what was going on.
Where did the name Hurricane Chris come from?
When I first started rapping, I used to rap real fast. I ain't never rapped slow. I was like, I used to listen to Twista, Bone
I was just about to say Twista.
You know, I really listened to them a whole lot, so I took after that. That's what helped me win in high school competition, too.
Okay.
Because they didn't know what you were saying.
They just know he was saying a lot. But I was able to break it down and let you understand it, too. You know, I was penning some immaculate rhymes at a young age.
So you go to high school and you drop out at 16. What led to that decision?
My mama just felt like it wasn't working because I was getting in so much trouble, and she felt like it just wasn't working. So she put me in. I had to go to alternative school, and then I go back to regular school, and then I get in trouble again and have to go back to alternative school. So she was like, you know what, you just need to get your GED. So she sent me back to the same alternative school to get my GED, and that was the end of school for me.
But you always were rapping.
Yeah.
Particular moment.
Yeah. And I think that got me a lot of haters as well, you know, because I was different from everybody else. I had something that a lot of people didn't have.
So how did you stay alive and stay out of trouble? Because this neighborhood growing up for you is a lot that you're dealing with. You're seeing death and murder and drug transactions and paraphernalia. You're seeing all these things. How does Hurricane Chris stay alive, stay free?
So I could tell you that it was me watching my surroundings, and I could tell you that it was me being on point. But bigger than anything, my grandmothers was Christians, both of them, and like the type of people that pray for you and make your whole life change. Anything that's going on, like when they lay hands on you, it's serious. So I had some real religious grandparents. Like, one of them, I had asthma growing up. One of them drew measurements on a cabinet and told me when you reach this height, asthma gonna leave your body. I stood under these measurements every day, and when I reached this certain level on the ruler, on the measurements, asthma had left my body. So spiritual healing and God watching over me, like, I think that's the biggest thing that brought me out of my situation. God, you know, felt like I had something to offer to the world, and I guess he kept his hand over me and made sure I was able to, you know, make it out of the craziness.
What period of time where your music started taking off, when you just started taking it serious? Like, man, I think I can really do something with this.
Man, I was on the road touring by the time I hit, I would say like 14. Around like 2.
So A Baby didn't come out yet at all?
Nah, I was lit way before A Baby. I was already on the road touring, getting $2,000, $2,500 a show.
Dang, at 15?
At like 2005, 2004, 2006, you know. I mean, I was already on the road a couple years before A Baby even dropped. I got my deal in like 2000, and my first record deal was in 2007.
Which was when you were 16 as well, when you dropped out.
Yeah. But I was already on the road, and that was another reason why, you know, I felt like I I could come back and handle this school stuff later. Right now, I got a blessing. My mama got eviction notices on her door. I'm finna chase this rap bag right now.
And where was Dad? Was Dad locked up at this particular time?
Yeah, my daddy was locked up.
Okay, so
he did.
was coming in the house.
Yeah. So it was like I had to man up and do grown man activities. I had to provide for my mama because we was going under real fast at a fast pace. You know, she lost her beauty shop, eviction notice on the door where we live at. So she
Because
put
they
her,
was also divorced at this time.
yeah, they was divorced and he was locked up. So
Did that bother you too?
yeah, it bothered me because I grew up in the house with my mama and my daddy. So, you know, when that happened, I was kind of, you know, I was messed up in the head about it. But in a way, I kind of got over it. I got over it because I seen that, you know, they really didn't get along. So I kind of was happy at the same time that we didn't have to go through the turmoil with them arguing, you know. So, I mean, like I say, like when I got my deal, my daddy was locked up. So he wasn't here to see none of that. But I picked him up, you know, when he got out and everything was lit. But I had to go get that bag. Nah, I probably had I had just signed a deal, so I hadn't even really got into the bag like that yet. I probably had signed an entertainment deal with Collie Park, and then they was taking me to J Records to get the major deal.
Oh, okay.
So the bag hadn't hit yet, you understand what I'm saying? So I think I had like a Dodge Intrepid.
Okay.
So was A Baby already out before you signed?
Yeah, A-Baby was out like a year before I signed.
Which made Collie Park come for you.
Yeah, Collie Park flew to Shreveport. Yeah.
You made that for Big Dog and what's his name?
Bebe.
Bebe.
To be honest, I made it because I felt like it was gonna blow. And that's why you hear me in the song saying, white folks, gangsters, and the thugs, stunned with a stack of them dubs, riding in a lack with a mug. So I wanted to make it worldwide, versatile for anybody because I knew everybody wasn't gonna know.
But you had him in mind.
I had him in mind.
Okay.
When I heard it in the club.
Okay.
When I heard people saying it, but then I was like, I could make this bigger. I could make this something that the world can accept.
So you changed the lyrics on it?
I didn't change the lyrics. I changed the meaning.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
Hey, baby, this is my song. Turn me up.
Yeah. So,
did you ever go see him DJ?
Yeah, I was in the club when I first heard people saying it, and he was DJing. But when I heard that, I was like, I can make this worldwide. I can make this something that the whole world can understand.
So it was a chant that already was happening.
Yeah, they was chanting it in the club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you got the idea from.
Yeah. So
and you turned it into a song.
Yeah. I just felt like, you know, I could really make the world rock with this. Because if I would have kept it like that, then they would have been like, who is he talking about? What is he talking about? So I had to play chess, you know what I'm saying, and make the world be able to understand what I was talking about. If you riding in a lack with a mug, say, hey, baby. You want to know what we say in the club? Hey, baby.
Yeah.
You got a stack of them dubs. Hey, baby. Like,
Yeah.
Now, where was Bebe at? Because he from Texas. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Nah, when I made the A Baby song, that allowed him to go get that Texas situation. Which you ain't gonna never hear him talk about. He ain't never gonna say thank you to Hurricane for helping me get all the way in Texas. He was in Shreveport, Louisiana, at a radio station that don't even exist no more, basically.
Gotcha.
So, if I wouldn't have made the song, I don't know where he would be, but I know when I went to Dallas, they told me, even the radio station in Dallas told me, how do you feel about helping him get this job? You know, so that's what it is.
So what's our
fire.
relationship like now?
I ain't got no relationship with him. When I got out and bonded out, I hit him up and told him I needed him to help me make some moves. He told me he wasn't rocking with music. I told him exactly how I felt. Like, I'm fighting a second-degree attempted murder charge, and I'm telling you I need you to make something happen for me, and you giving me excuses. So it wasn't nothing else for me to say to him after that. I was at a point where I was fighting for my freedom. I was fighting life. So anybody who ain't had my back to help me make the moves I needed to help during that time, I erased them out of my life completely. Your number on block. You understand? You know, like, I don't care nothing. I'm going to get some money regardless. I don't care nothing about nobody who ain't here for me. You understand what I'm saying? That's just, I'm going to keep it all the way real. The industry ain't going to make me fake with you. I come from a real place. You know, and I had been told them, let's stop acting like we rocking with each other anyway, because you ain't really got my best interest. You ain't really trying to help me make no moves regardless. And my song is the song that got you this job out here in Dallas. If I put you in a position and then you see me take a fall, you're supposed to do everything in your power to pull me back up. And he just never did that. He never had the realness in him. He used to say stuff like, I don't care about being real no more. And once I started hearing this type of talk, I realized that he ain't had a type of character that I was willing to surround myself around. And I got a son. I want my son to see the type of people that I involve myself with. And I want him to learn to involve himself with real people who got his back throughout life. So I can't teach a lesson through dealing with people who ain't keeping it real.
Now, I don't know Hollywood Bebe like that, but I've met him a few times now. Do you think there's any miscommunication on his part that he may feel different than how you feel?
And just for clarity, Hollywood Bebe is a DJ?
Yeah, he a DJ radio personality in Dallas.
Well, how much miscommunication can it be if I help you get this job at iHeartRadio because I made a song mentioning your name, and then you see me go through some stuff in life, and you don't do everything in your power to pull me out of the situation? Even when I got into it with my record label that I was signed with, I called him and told him, hey, I need you to reach out and let them know this, what they doing ain't right. You know what he told me? I ain't getting in it because I want to still be able to go back to the label and still be able to do business with them. But you the one who introduced me to these people. You the one who told me, hey, sign this deal. Just sign it. I'm telling you, I got your best interest. Sign this. But when it went bad and I told him I need you to jump in here with me and help, he ain't do that. He told me he ain't getting involved in it. That's a snake to me. And you could look at it however you want to look at it. If you got morals and principles about yourself, then you understand what a snake is.
So when you first got your deal with J Records, you asked him for advice, and he advised you to take the deal?
He set the meeting up at his radio station and brought all the label people to a room at the radio station. I'm like a kid. I'm 16, so everything they saying just sound like a bunch of, you know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing I know is I want to rap. Y'all 30-some years old. I'm looking for y'all to help me, guide me into making the best decision. So at one point, I wasn't about to sign it, and they seen it. So he came talk to me outside the room. Like, man, just sign this. I got your best interest. Just do it. Because he knew what it was going to do for him. Which is why he still got the job that he got right now. So some people are out for themselves. And that's just what that was. You could ask my whole city, Shreveport, Louisiana. They vouch for everything I'm saying. They're going to tell you what I'm saying. They're going to say he ain't look out for Kane.
So A-Baby is out and you're signed with J Records. The song is everywhere.
This shit going crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. What was life like in that time? I know, you were kind of uncertain about certain things, but, just for the moment, the success of the record, what was life like?
I had resentment and I was happy at the same time because I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that I kind of was talked into this situation. I was coerced into this situation.
So this shit is blowing up and you're upset. Damn,
Man,
I would never have guessed that.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that
They
either.
sent me the label. They sent me the meetings with. I'm sitting at the table with Ashanti and Nelly eating dinner, and I got a Scrooge look on my face to the point where the label walked me out of the room like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Bro, you don't understand. Like, I ain't sure about this whole situation still."
Because you don't even know what you signed, basically.
You feel me? Like. Like, I ain't sure about this whole situation, so I couldn't fake no happiness. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you would have thought I would have just been psyched out and happy. When we flew to New York for the first time, we flew to New York for the first time, they shut down a restaurant for us to eat. Shout out to Brian Leach. They shut down the whole restaurant for us to eat. I ain't eat nothing. I'm in there looking like, Bebe was way more happier than me. And that's what, and as where I'm at now, I can think, okay, yeah, I know why he was happier than me, because he was thinking about how to position himself, So.
Did he get more money than you?
Nah, he wasn't even in on a deal.
You're just talking about the leverage of bringing you in there as talent to leverage his opportunity.
And if he was smart, he would have Birdman the situation. He would have Master P'd the situation. He would have made sure we got a distribution deal. But he was so quickly being greedy and want to make something fast happen that he let them come sign me as an artist. You could have Birdman, Jay-Z, the whole situation.
When you signed your deal and you felt kind of angry about the situation, now did you know, or did somebody tell you like, hey man, this ain't no good deal for you? Like, did somebody ever tell you that, or you just felt like in your heart you didn't sign a good deal?
I had like people like Jay Prince come in and ask me, you know, hey man, I give you double what they gave you. But I was so loyal to Brian Leach for helping me get into the position that I was in. I was like, nah, I'm good, I'm straight. You know, it just wasn't I ain't the type of cat to turn my back. I might be kind of, you know, distraught about the situation, but I ain't never wanted to look like a snake or like I had two faces. You understand what I'm saying? And my loyalty, you know, didn't hurt me to a degree. You feel me? Like, being loyal will put you in some messed up positions.
Right about that.
So you had A Baby, you did the remix with everybody on it. Then you had what was the next one record? The clap.
Oh,
clap.
yeah, the hand clap.
And then Halle Berry.
Halle Berry's my shit.
Yeah.
Still get played right now to this day.
You know, Sexy Red she just did a remix to Halle Berry.
Fire.
Really?
Yeah.
She did?
Yeah. I sent her a verse for it like 2 days ago.
Okay.
Look on her page.
Okay.
But Halle Berry seemed to be the last hit from that deal.
Mainstream.
What happened with that?
I mean, I made Halle Berry pop on my own. Me and a manager named Anthony Murray, we went and grabbed this song. Like, the label, I had fell out with the label. And this around the time when I'm telling your boy, I need you to reach out to him and help me fix this situation. So nobody helped. I guess they felt like they got what they was in a situation to get. So I drove to Dallas. I hooked up with a producer named Playing Skills. And they played the beat, Halle Berry. And it had the hook on it already.
Halle Berry.
It didn't have that part.
Okay.
That's me.
Is that she fine like a
It had that part.
Okay.
So I'm like, man, it's a hit. I bet if I get on this, it's gonna go immediately. And I rapped on it. When I rapped on it, it took off to the moon. The label started calling me immediately. Hey, let's shoot the Halle Berry video. So now we back good again. That's how record labels work.
Wait, did they give you another advance?
I don't even think. Nah, we just continued the situation that we already had.
How long was y'all contract?
It was for 5 albums.
Okay.
I only did 3, and then once I, you know, got to the point where I wouldn't work no more, and I got to the point where I just wasn't about to work under the situation, period. Like, I ain't doing nothing. He let me out of the deal.
Because there was no money needed that you was going they was going to be able
Probably
to make off you.
recouped, didn't you? At least, because
Yeah,
you gave him like...
Hey,
you
baby,
gave
they
him-
made $1 million a week.
So you
Well, I
got-
made stupid millions.
Okay.
Is you crazy?
$1 million a week.
So yeah, you...
What was you
good.
buying at that time? What was you?
I bought my mama a $500,000 house.
In Shreveport or?
Yeah, in Shreveport.
Okay.
That was probably the biggest purchase. You know, cars,
Pops, how was Pops?
S550s, Range Rovers, stuff like that.
You was
Oh, you was
through
going
money
crazy.
fast.
I mean, I was going through money fast, but I wasn't going through it like you see these young cats going through it right now. I still had real estate, 2 halfway houses, rent houses, purchased a couple homes, businesses, you know, helped my mama do what she was trying to do with real estate, restaurant here, restaurant there. Like, everything that I did may have not been a successful business, but I always tried to spread my money. And, you know, some of it was successful, some of it wasn't.
Did you have like
Very
a advisor?
No advisor.
Okay.
It was just me.
That's dope. Because everything ain't going to hit, right? Like every business deal is not going to be as successful as, you know.
Right.
Your last deal.
But you rather be putting your money into something that could potentially make money than going to buy 30 new chains and you don't own no type of real estate or no businesses to create residual income.
Right. So who taught you that? Did your mom teach you to invest your money?
Yeah, because she always had some entrepreneurship inside of her. Like, even from being young, watching her own beauty shops and watching my grandparents, they had a convenience store. And I just understood that, you know, you got to flip your paper. My daddy was a hustler. I wasn't about to get involved in what he was involved in, but I knew you got to flip your paper. So that's something that hit me at a young age. And that was something that helped me tell a label, I ain't doing nothing.
Because you like, I'm good.
I know how to make some money. Yeah,
Right.
like, I ain't.
So why did y'all end up falling out? You and the label?
I was young and I had a direction I wanted to go in. The label owed me money. Checks wasn't getting cut on time. So it just led to me having a real big outburst. and it got real bad between me and the CEO. Like, I was telling them exactly how I felt.
And you
I'm
know they
coming-
making millions of dollars.
Exactly.
Right.
But checks being late and stuff like that. Even after the deal, I had to go hire a royalty recovery agent to collect $500,000. So it's just like the money wasn't being sent to me. But at this age, I didn't know how to go after the money. I didn't know I could hire somebody that'll make sure everything hit my account when it's supposed to hit my account. I ain't know how to audit them or none of that. And you know, a lot of companies, they just rather you audit them or file suit to get your money. They gonna hold it as long as they can hold it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big thing. And I just blew up about it. And when I blew up, they realized that this ain't a situation that we want to play with.
Yeah.
So you're out of your deal. What is the temperature for the industry? Did you get a lot of support, or were you trying to search for another deal, or were you just like, I'm just gonna go independent?
When I got out of the deal, it was like I started focusing on financial literacy and how to create money outside of the music industry. So I just started moving around from city to city, state to state, and learning as much as I could about business.
How was that? Like taking classes, courses?
Nah, just from the people that I was able to put myself around. Like, I started just going to sit with J. Prince Sr. And just ride with him every day. Somebody who done created $1 billion empire, and just learn how to be self-sufficient and how to make my money work for me. I'm watching, he own this. We go to this building, we find out he own this, he own this, he own this. So it's like ownership is where it's at. And he got more money than any rapper. So it's like, this some cool paper, but it's really a whole nother world out here of getting to some mega money. Like when you owning and having the right to be able to sell your stake in business, then you really playing on a whole nother level, you know. So I just wanted to boss up outside of the music industry for a minute. And, you know, that's what I did.
Did you leave with a good amount of money in your bank account? Or
I still had paper. I was straight. I ain't have to worry about no paper. Like, I still bought everything I wanted to buy, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. Were you doing shows still, or?
I was doing stupid shows. That's one thing that really always kept me afloat, performing. Yeah, I did a whole lot of shows. Like, I'm a college favorite still to this day. Colleges love me.
How old were you when you left the deal?
I probably was like, I signed a deal in 2007. I think I got out of the deal in like 2009.
How did you feel after? You felt good? You was like, thank God.
I felt like thank God, because I felt like I was in a situation that wasn't doing nothing for me. I had been locked into this contract and the label had shut down. They wasn't doing nothing. They wasn't providing me with no resources that I could use to get to the next level. So I just wanted out of the situation.
So when you were on a major label, did you ever feel like you was on a major label, or did you still feel like you was kind of like independent?
I felt like I was on a major label, yeah. I definitely understood I was on a major label. I was signed to Clive Davis. You know, that's who gave Whitney Houston her deal.
Big
I was,
dog.
I'd been in a room sitting at tables eating with Whitney Houston before she passed. Like, if you watch her documentary, some of the scenes that they portrayed in the documentary, I was actually there in those rooms.
What was your experience of Whitney?
I mean, she a legend, so I couldn't do nothing but be amazed that I was even in the same room with Whitney Houston.
But I heard she's like down to earth and all that. Was she cool?
We ain't have conversations. I mean, you know, this Whitney, so
You were just a fly on the wall.
yeah, I was a
basically.
fly on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just soaking up the game, and the fact that Clive Davis got his arm on my shoulder, like, you know, we're gonna make you the biggest thing in the world. So I just was soaking up the game, you feel me?
And this time, you had the deal, you left, and you're making music, you're trying to find your feet in entrepreneurship. Did you have any relationships going on at this time? Or did you have like a long-standing girlfriend?
Yeah, how was your personal life?
I moved to so when I signed my first deal with Collie Park, I ended up taking one of his artists from him and moving her. I think they was about to get a deal too, but I messed it all up. I moved her all the way to Shreveport.
Oh wow.
He brought her down there for a video shoot one time, and I was like,
You mine.
yeah, that's it. So I mean, after that didn't last. So I've been with the person, you know.
So you done ruined that girl career.
Man,
Yeah, did she ever end up releasing music?
nah. The whole group broke up.
Is she still in Shreveport?
Because of you?
I mean, you know, when you take a female out of a female group,
He
it's
ruined
not
the
the group
group.
no more.
Damn.
Dang. So did you
never
have a
heard of the-
girlfriend after her, or
Yeah, the same person I'm with now.
okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've been with my old lady for like 17 years.
Is she the mother of your child? Your
Yeah,
son?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you had your son, how did that change your life? Because I know you weren't signed at this point.
I wasn't signed, but right before I had my son is when I started hiring people to audit the label. So at that point, money was just flying in like crazy because it was all the old back payments that they never paid me. Like
Smart
I
guy.
went to the dealership and bought 2 Bentleys, a Maserati, Benz truck, Benz car. Like, so I mean, everything. It was a good situation. My son ain't never had to want for nothing. Still don't want for nothing. Like he can't think of nothing that he want right now. Like
That's what it's all about. At what point of time did you eventually say, man, I got to get out of Shreveport? Because, you know, you hear, even Boosie just talk about a lot of the corruption that goes on in Louisiana. At what point did you decide, like, all right, I got to get out of here?
I got charged with 2nd-degree murder for defending myself against somebody who was in the midst of a violent attack on me.
Can we talk about that?
I mean, yeah, I was at the gas station and somebody tried to rob me and reach into their pocket for a weapon. And, you know, I had to use lethal force. I stayed on the scene, and when they got there, they choose to charge me with 2nd-degree
So they
murder.
took you to jail
Yeah, it took me straight to jail.
for doing the right thing.
Man, staying on the scene and everything. They didn't get there till probably 20 minutes. I could have been gone.
And
I stayed there.
And you felt like you
Went
was doing the
inside,
right thing.
told the clerk, dial 911. When they get here, give them the tape. Stay right there.
They gave him the tape.
Yeah. That's what cleared me in trial. But Shreveport's so corrupt. Only thing they looking at is we got Hurricane Chris. They actually got officers saying this on recording. Like, man, that's Hurricane Chris. So a lot of this had to do with them arresting me as well.
Because of who you were.
Yeah, and the DA felt like if she could get a conviction on a celebrity, then she can run for whatever she want to run for after district attorney. You feel me?
It be like that.
Yeah, so they really tried to use me as a chess move. So after I seen that, and then I seen the mayor didn't step in and say nothing about it or try to help.
With evidence that it was self-defense, correct?
Yeah, they had evidence. They
Okay.
had buku evidence. This dude was in the wrong 100%. Like,
Did you know the person?
Nah, I ain't never seen him in my life. I'm just chilling.
In the
Chilling
gas station, or
I'm outside the gas station. I'm sitting in the car with my partner, with my security, and we're just chopping it up.
With your security.
Yeah.
And then where does the guy come from? He just comes out of nowhere?
When I look over at my S550, somebody breaking in it.
You're in another car, not your S550.
2 gas pumps over in
Okay.
another car. When I look over at my whip, somebody breaking in it. So I run over there, and by this time, he done already got the door open. I got an AR-15 laying right on the seat. I wasn't about to let him get to it, so I made him stop instantly. Like, turn around. Get your hands away from your pockets, because he started reaching, and et cetera, et cetera. He started making verbal threats, reaching deeper into his pocket, and he just failed to retreat or to do anything that I was asking him to do, as far as take your hands away from your pocket, step away from the car, put his hand in his pocket, made verbal threats, and step closer to me. So
Did he end up having a weapon?
he had a boulder like the size of my head. It probably sound like I'm exaggerating, but he had a boulder like this big, a
Cement
concrete cement block,
in his pocket.
Okay.
and that's what he was going in his pocket for.
Because he was going to hit you with it.
I guess he was gonna try to knock me out with it and do whatever he wanted to do. That wasn't about to happen.
Against the gun that you had. He was going to hit you with a rock.
But you didn't know
Exactly.
you didn't know what he had.
I knew that he was reaching in his pocket.
Okay.
And I seen a protrusion. I could see something real big in his pocket. So in my mind, he got a gun.
So in self-defense, you fire off and, and then you wait for the police.
Yep.
Because the gas station, because what happened with the clerk? Did he come outside? Did he call the police, or who called the cops?
I dialed 911.
Okay.
And I think he may have dialed it too.
The person in the store.
The clerk. Yeah.
Okay.
So I told him, make sure when they get here, you give them the cameras, give them the tapes. So when they got there, I'm trying to walk up to the officers and tell them what's going on. They telling me, get back. I'm like, you want me to tell you what's going on, or you want me to get in my car and leave? They basically trying to push me away from the scene. I'm like, nah.
Like you were the aggressor.
Nah, they don't know that
They
I
don't
had
know
nothing to
what
do with
happened.
the situation.
Oh.
They get there and start putting yellow tape up around.
And you like, I'm the
room.
one called y'all.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm involved in this whole situation. But they like pushing me back. You feel me? As they pushing me back, I'm like, hey, I'm involved in this situation. They still telling me, get back. They ain't trying to hear nothing I'm saying. So I guess one of them heard what I was saying, and he was like, what? They walked me over, and that's when they put me in the car.
Was the man already dead at the scene, or?
I can't tell you that.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you that.
But he was still, they were surrounding him.
Yeah, they were surrounding him.
Okay.
So they
Paramedics was
immediately
working on
put you in the car after you explained to them what happened, this
immediately put me in
self-defense.
handcuffs and put me in the car.
Wow.
And the heat on inside the police car. So I'm burning up in the back of the police car, like going crazy to the point where my body about to shut down because they got the heat blasting on me. And I'm banging on the window like, turn the air on. Ain't nobody coming to the car, so I'm like getting sick in the back seat.
Wow.
By the time I got out of there, I was sweating buckshots. They let me out for a second. Once they figured out that they had me in a hot car, they let me out the air out to get some air. When they let me out the back seat, I'm so hot, I almost passed out.
Then what happened after that?
They took me downtown.
So
You had to
when
call your lawyer, right?
So when I get downtown, I'm thinking I ain't did nothing wrong. So I answer questions, which I should have never did. I should have called a lawyer straight off the dump. If you ever get arrested and you get took downtown, don't answer no questions without a lawyer. Right. I'm telling everybody this right now. I don't care how right you think you is. Because a police officer's job is to try to get an arrest, to try to help the district attorney get a conviction. They don't care if somebody was on top of your mama beating her to death.
It's a murder. It's a crime. We need to convict something.
You understand
Thank you for
what I'm
this
saying?
information too, because a lot of people don't know this.
Don't answer no questions until you get a lawyer there. Me being stupid, thinking that, Shreveport gonna do the right thing by me, I answer questions. And they use and once I realized they started asking me the same questions in circles trying to trip me up, I was like, I don't want to talk no more.
because they wanted you to change your story.
Yeah, but I wasn't changing. But keep in mind, it's 3 a.m. and I'm sleepy. So I'm becoming to be like not as responsive as I was earlier in the day. It's 3 a.m. at this point, and you can hear like it in my voice. I'm dog tired, sleepy, like I'm about to drop and fall asleep right in the middle of this interview.
Because the incident happened at like 9 p.m.
I think like 10 or 11.
Okay.
But by this time, it's 3 a.m., like way past my bedtime.
So what was your security at when the whole incident occurred?
I don't think I know it. I got tunnel vision. I know nobody ain't do nothing. Nobody ain't do nothing. Like, I'm the only one who made the proper move to make sure that we all was able to go back home. Because just say, for instance, if he'd have reached in my car and got that AR-15, he would have hit them with it too. That's why I feel like everybody else who was there was kind of like playing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So the gun was in the car. You had an AR-15 on the seat, but then you had something else on you.
yeah, I had my sidearm on me.
Okay.
And these were all registered too.
Yeah, I had my concealed license since I was first turned 21.
Gotcha. So where were you at when they told you that that you were actually being charged for murder?
When I told them I don't want to answer no more questions, I called my dad, and my dad had sent the lawyer up there. My lawyer went and told them we done with the interview. And they came in there and said, my lawyer walked back in there. She said, okay, Chris, stand up, walk out of here with your head up. They about to charge you with second-degree murder.
Wow.
So you were put in jail.
Immediately.
Wow.
And then you made bail.
Yeah, I had a $500,000 bond.
Mentally, what's going through your mind? Because you just killed somebody, right? And you're happy. I mean, I don't want to say happy. You had to defend yourself.
Right.
So you're here. That person's not there, but now you're being charged. You're in your hometown. What's going through your mind?
It ain't no way. I'm thinking it ain't no way. Like, I practice all of this in concealed weapon classes. I know exactly when to use a weapon and when not to use a weapon. I know not
Thank
to
God
use...
for that, because I think that this helped you, because
Yeah.
you maybe said the right things that you needed to say.
Yeah, like, I know not to engage with force unless you know and you feel like your life in danger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this. So I took the same class that the police officers took. The dude who gave me my license, give all the police officers their license. So I know the same rules y'all know, and I followed them to the T. So I'm like, it ain't no way. I'm looking at the lawyer like, ain't no way. She like, we ain't even got to keep going back and forth. We gonna get you out. Stand up. When you walk out of here, put your hands behind your back, and don't worry about nothing else.
So you post the bail. Somebody, post your bail, $500K, and then did you have to put the ankle monitor on immediately after that, or?
Nah. What's crazy is when I first got out, I ain't have no ankle monitor on. They called me like, and that's the only thing I was worried about. Man, I'm gonna have to wear an ankle monitor. Like 3 days later, they called me and said, you gotta wear an ankle monitor. And they sent me to this place. My lawyer called me and he's like, you gotta go to this place. They about to put an ankle monitor on you.
That you have to pay for.
Right. I pay like 20-something thousand for the ankle monitor.
Ooh.
For them to keep track of you.
Exactly. And then they tried to raise my bond. One of the arresting officers went to the district attorney and said, don't y'all know he owned businesses? That $500,000 bond wasn't high enough. So the district attorney submitted something for the judge to lock me back up and give me another $500,000 bond or $1 million bond. But the judge looked at it like, I seen the judge when he pulled his glasses down, when they approached him, like, they denied it.
They was trying to get you.
Man, they was trying to
Yeah,
lynch me.
and it was everywhere. That was national news. Like,
Yeah, they tried to lynch me, bro. And I feel like as much as I did for this town, like, if you pull up me, I'm with the politicians trying to help these state representatives be reelected. I'm in nursing homes, filling them up with flat screen TVs. I'm moving around throughout my community giving back. And to see nobody have my back during this time was crazy. Even the politicians that I helped, and I helped them remain in position and came and supported them for their causes. When I hit them up and told them what was happening with me, they was like, well, just get a lawyer. You just handle that with a lawyer. I'm like, what? So, it was really me against the whole entire state of Louisiana.
So your lawyers go to work, the trial is going. They say that they had a plea deal for you for 40 years on manslaughter.
Yeah, but my lawyer never told me that, because after the trial, he said, they had a deal for you for 40 years. He said, but I know if I would have told you that, you probably would have fired me. He said, I never even brought it to you.
40 years?
Yeah, they wanted me to cop out to 40 years. Because, in Louisiana, second-degree murder carry life. And life in Louisiana mean not 25 to life. You don't get no parole. If you go to jail for life in Louisiana, you do life. I mean, the district attorney was telling the jury, we're going to walk him in jail, and he going to come out in a body bag. It ain't no 25 to life. It ain't no parole. I need people on my jury that's willing to give him life, because that's what he getting if we convict him. So you ain't getting out if you get life.
Wow.
How was home life at home during this time, during the trial? Because, like you was out on bail. What was it like at home for you? And waking up every day, seeing your son and, just trying to live life knowing this is all going on.
Man, it was hard. It was real hard to live life. It felt like a dream. It felt like I couldn't make no promises to nobody. It felt like any promise that I did make, I was lying. Even to my son, you feel me? I'm looking at him like, man, what would happen if these folks actually lock me up for life? And I got an 7, 8-year-old son that don't know nothing but his daddy being right there every day. Like, this was crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the craziest feeling I ever felt in my life, And
was your grandmother's keeping you positive, taking you to church, or? So
one of my grandmothers passed. She saw it happen. She was alive when it happened. But before I got acquitted, she passed away. So that bothered me as well. Like, I hope she know I'm straight, That bothered me a lot. And it's the first person I went to when I burned out. When they burned me out, they took me straight to my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause this who give me all my spiritual healing. This who give me all my confidence. You feel me?
Now, at any point in time when you was in, when you was going to trial for everything, did you ever look at the jury and think that, like, man, these people, they probably think I did it? They like, you know what I mean?
No, I mean, when they was interviewing the jurors, one of the dudes, they asked him a question. They was like, so, would you be able to give him life? Would you be able to say guilty if we can prove him guilty? And he was like, well, if you say he did it, he must have did it.
Oh, wow.
And they picked him.
Nah, the judge took him off the jury.
Okay, cool.
Because if you say something like that, they got to take you off the
they
jury.
can't. Yeah, they can't just side with.
You gotta be willing. Your job coming here is to listen to the evidence presented and then make a decision. If you show any sign that you already want to say guilty or innocent before you listen to the evidence, then they take you off the jury. They can't keep you on it.
Good. That's good. So March 15, 2023 happens. They deliver the verdict, which is not guilty.
Right.
What was the energy in the courtroom when the verdict was being read?
I broke down. I had a lawyer to the left of me, a lawyer to the right of me. And that's another thing. I had
This is a year ago.
Yeah, my lawyer had to shut his whole law firm down. They had to shut the whole law firm down because every lawyer had to work my trial. Even their sons was in court working my trial. Like, from their publicist to their secretary to all the lawyers, like, they shut everything down to win my trial. And that's something that Alex Washington, I'm always be grateful for, because they ain't have to do that. You know, so I had a lawyer to the left of me and a lawyer to the right of me. When they said not guilty, I grabbed both of their hands. I was just ecstatic. My head hit the table, like, couldn't do nothing but thank God, you feel me? As I'm thanking God. And mind you, we had probably 150 people in this courtroom. As soon as they said not guilty, and I put my head down, thank God, when I picked my head up and turned around, there wasn't nobody in the courtroom no more. Like, they all came to see somebody get life. They walked out like, this ain't what I came to see.
Oh.
You feel me?
So this might be a dumb question, but why was it so hard? Why did they have to work so hard to prove that you were innocent if everything was on camera?
This is Louisiana.
Yeah, in different states, bro, it's difficult.
If you not a celebrity, for number one, they ain't used to trying people of my caliber, so they didn't take into account that the world was gonna see this. They didn't take into account that I already got a legacy that I created, and it's a good one. Ain't nobody known me for messing with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never been known as no bad dude. I've been known as the type of dude to show love, and I got 20 of my homeboys at my house, and everybody sharing everything we got. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they thought they had a chance, but little did they know you never stood a chance at painting a negative picture of me, because I already painted a picture. I painted a picture since I was 14 years old. The people that you trying to tell that I'm a bad person and all of this, they like, we watched them grow up. They looking at the district attorney crazy upside her head, like, what? This little Chris that we watch grow up? Nah. I mean, and this Louisiana, if they feel like they can hide you and the world ain't gonna see what's going on, and they can sweep you under the rug without nobody paying attention, they gonna do it. It's just like you when you was a kid. If you could get away with something and your parents wasn't gonna see it, then you was gonna do it. And that's how they rock in Louisiana. Like, it's a real, real messed up place. You don't want to go to jail in Louisiana.
Racist.
It's real racist. But what's crazy is the district attorney was black. Look just like us. And really stood up there like, they had one judge that wouldn't even take the case in the courtroom. The first judge I had, she wouldn't even take the case. Went to court one day, they was like, she has removed herself from your case.
Because she didn't think it was.
I'm thinking she knew that this was some BS. I even had people from the district attorney office reach out to my lawyer like, this is a bad situation. He should have never been charged. You feel me? The officers that was on the scene, like 3 of them got fired after the case was over for all type of stuff that they wasn't supposed to be doing.
Wow.
You feel me? Like, so it's a corrupt place.
This sounds like a documentary.
It's a movie. I'm trying to holler at 50 Cent.
Yes, I hope you get
Because
it too.
he out there now.
I'm trying to holler at 50 Cent and tell him, let's do the life story of Hurricane. Like,
When you got acquitted, the first thing in your mind is what?
I got my life back. For 3 years, I felt like my life wasn't my life.
I was gonna ask how long did it take for all this back and forth to go? So 3 years.
I feel like I had a lease on life, and that lease could be up at any moment. When they said not guilty, I just started thinking about, man, I just want to go home and just walk around in my boxers and, man, just
be with my family.
You know, I got my life back. You know, I felt like I was hanging off a cliff for 3 years, and somebody could have easily just cut the rope and I drop 1,000,000 feet and disintegrate. But once they said not guilty, it was like I got my life back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I felt like I was gonna celebrate and stand up and say, I told you, but I ain't do none of that. I couldn't do nothing but think about God and thank him for bringing me through this situation, you know. I know it wasn't me. My auntie and my mama, they couldn't even sit in the courtroom when they read the verdict. My auntie went to the bathroom and talked to my grandma the whole time. Like I told you, she passed before I went to trial.
Yep.
But she was so much of a spiritual healing to us, I'm still relying on her to this day.
Because she was on the other side working for you.
You feel me? I know she was in the courtroom. You can't tell me she wasn't.
So, music. So, when did music start coming back around? Do you start to feel comfortable?
But wait a second, real quick.
Yeah,
Shout out to your lawyers because, like you said, you're in such a corrupt town and a corrupt place. For you to be able to find somebody who would, you know, like you said, they had their whole family working.
Yeah.
You know, that is kind of like a needle in a haystack when it comes to like a place like Louisiana. And you said your dad found those lawyers for you?
Nah, the lawyer that he sent originally, I ended up not letting that lawyer do my trial. Alex Washington is who I used for my trial.
Okay.
That's who fought the case the entire time. Like anytime, the whole 3 years.
How'd you find him?
When I was in jail, he showed up at the jail.
Okay.
He just showed up?
And I ain't want to talk to him. I'm like, bro, this is a setup. Who is this? I ain't got no lawyer yet. I'm just finna bond out, then get a lawyer.
Did somebody send him?
I don't know.
He
how
probably
came.
saw the news and he probably thought that was something that he could fight for you.
I think one of my partners, 3 may have sent him.
Oh, okay.
But he could have came on his own. I ain't sure. I don't really remember that good.
You never asked him about it?
I did ask him about it back then, but I just don't remember the answer. It's been like 4 years ago.
Gotcha.
Since the beginning of the whole situation. So he just popped up and they said, you got to visit. I'm like, first somebody from the radio station that I ain't seen in 15 years came and seen me. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, whatever you need, let me know.
Who was that?
This was his name, Elaw.
Okay.
My cousin used to work at a radio station. I used to hang out, not a radio station, a record store. So that's another thing I forgot to tell y'all. I actually grew up inside a record store.
Okay.
So my cousin worked in a record store. The dude who owned it, his name was Elaw. He work on the radio now. He pulled up like, what you need? I'm like, man, I'm straight. I'm finna burn out. After that, the lawyer popped up. The lawyer, he even was asking me, what you need? I got people that could put the money up for you right now. So I'm like, nah, I'm straight. I'm good. So, I mean, I had people who had my back.
You know, are these the same lawyers that you are going to start invest in the law firm with? Or?
Yeah. He actually just got somebody off on a situation that a dude did 38 years for a crime that he didn't commit. My lawyer just got him off. I think it's in New Orleans.
Wow.
I had to give you the details.
He did 38 years?
38 years. Like, for a crime he didn't commit. My lawyer just got him off on it. So
That's crazy.
I'm highly invested with my lawyer, and we planning to do a lot of business as far as justice reform. I think that's going to be my department that I deal with, just trying to bring as much attention to what's going on in Louisiana as I possibly can.
Even though that you live in Atlanta?
Yeah, I ain't going to forget.
Okay.
I ain't never going to forget. They might think I forgot.
Do you still go home often? Or?
I don't go home often, nah. I don't go often. And that's because my family here, my son, he play football. I got business deals here, like big stuff I'm working on out here. And Louisiana just don't have the resources for me to be who I need to be and to make the type of money that I'm trying to make. So, I mean, it ain't strictly because of that situation, which it should be, because I shouldn't have been there seeing how they tried to take my life away from me. It did kind of make me feel like I don't never want to come back, but I think I got over that. And I focus on the fact that Atlanta just got more business to offer for me, and my son got his life set up here. So this where I'm at. This is just a new chapter in my life, Atlanta. I grew up there. I did what I was supposed to do there, and God moved me for a reason. When God moved me, I don't fight against God and try to go, like, he gonna put me where he want me to be.
And you're still giving back, because if you do this law firm, you know, if you're an investor, that's still giving back to your town,
Right,
and the whole state of Louisiana.
Right.
Yeah, and I was thinking too, it probably doesn't even make you feel safe even going back because of how they tried to, you know, do you back in your hometown.
Yeah, I mean, I just got the feeling that that, say for instance, if a situation occur, you ain't got people that's being fair. The people who making the decisions, they not fair. So why would I put myself in that position on purpose? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And who know how they feel after getting stumped in trial like that? I want all 12 jurors. These folks wasted all type of money from the state for nothing.
It costs a lot of money to go to trial for that.
They shut the whole downtown down when I did my trial. You couldn't even come downtown. Once you exited the highway, they had police cars with their lights on. The whole courtroom was surrounded 360 degrees. Paddy wagons, police officers outside with weapons. Like, they wasted a lot of money to try to get a wrongful conviction. And my lawyer still told me if they would have convicted you, I would have got you out. He said I would have put my whole life to the side and dedicated everything I had into freeing you.
Well, like you said, you're on to a
that's
new
what's up,
chapter.
yeah.
We're glad that you're free. We're glad that you're out. We're glad that you're telling your story and you're helping other people.
Hey, 50, I know you're doing your BMF.
There's your camera right there.
I know you're doing your BMF and all this, but you need to come check Hurricane out. Plus, you just got a studio in Shreveport, so we need to link up so we could do the Hurricane life story, you know.
And I'll be tuned in. That happened, I'm
I
tuned
ain't
in.
I'm glad
I'm
you
gonna
came
be
and shared.
on the hiring page for the production crew, because I need to be a part of
Yeah,
this.
she do all the production for
You
our
know.
show.
I'm
Okay,
saying,
bet.
Oh, don't worry, you gonna see the clips.
Yeah,
Bet.
but new music coming out. You working on new mixtape maybe, or
I just dropped Hurricane Season 2.
okay?
I got a mixtape with Boosie, Badass Hurricane 2. This our second one.
Nice.
It ain't out yet. I just hit him yesterday. Like, we got to.
I'm glad that you guys that you did that with him. I think you two have the best distinct voice
Oh yeah.
in the South outside of Jeezy.
Appreciate that. And then I got a single called Murder that I'm releasing with Boosie as well. So I'm working. It don't stop with me.
Right.
And I got some club bangers I'm about to drop too.
Uh-oh.
And how's your son doing?
He good.
He
He in
playing football.
football and track.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
you know, that's really what I be dedicated to outside of the entertainment industry. But my son come first. He come before the industry, before anything. Like,
I like
if he got a
that.
football game or something, you try to book me. I don't care if you got 30,000, 40,000. It don't matter.
My man.
I'm going. I gotta be
I be
here
the
for my
same
son
way, my
first.
boy.
Like, I ain't getting booked on Christmas. You know, I look at a lot of cats and they be touring on Christmas and they make excuses for this. I'm like, bro, these days you ain't gonna never get back with your kids. It ain't no bag, and that's why I felt it was important for me to learn how to make money outside of the industry. Cause you ain't finna play me out of my life with my family.
My nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, I feel like you kind of like, I don't know. I feel cheap at that moment. Like,
No,
I gotta.
you came from that. You know, your dad was with you, your mom was with you. You had those family values. So,
Yeah.
And you put that on your son too, and he knows that. Do you want any more kids?
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have some more. It's in my plans.
Is marriage in your plans too? I know y'all been together 17 years.
I ain't against it.
Okay.
Now you know she's gonna be watching this now.
Trust me, it's conversations in my house like this all the time.
Oh, okay.
So this ain't the first conversation. Like, I got some stuff I'm working on. I can't really speak on too much, but you might see it in the future. But we might end up doing it on TV. You don't know.
Well, listen, you got an open invitation. We hope you come back.
Yeah.
Come back on the
yeah,
ball
yeah.
show. We just
Anytime.
glad you outside, you free, man. You moving.
Proud of you.
I'm moving and grooving, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out here.
You
And
got
we was-
any? Did you want to plug any more of your businesses or?
I'm good. Just make sure you follow me on Instagram, you know. I don't be on my own Instagram that much. But Instagram is Hurricane Chris Official. Follow me on there, you know. And look out for the Hurricane Season 2. I just dropped that. And I'm going to drop Hurricane Season 3. So just keep your eyes on Kane and watch what I do. I'm back working right now, so it ain't no telling what you finna see. I just signed a deal with an acting agency, and I got some TV stuff I'm working on too, so
Oh, and the lawsuit. Speaking of acting, because they took a lot of, during that 3-year period, you had a lot of things on the rise for yourself as far as acting.
So the thing about the lawsuit is, after you go to trial, they not obligated to give you the court records.
Okay.
So before I go deep into my bag with spending a F load of money, I want to make sure that it's going to be in my best interest. Because I can very easily dump a bunch of money and not even be able to get the court records. So right now I got to find an attorney that's going to be willing to work with me and go get these court records before I just dump a tremendous bag. I mean, I'm going to pay, but I ain't trying to just dump the whole bag.
And why do you want the court records?
They got to have the court records to go over everything that happened to see was they in the wrong for taking me to trial for this case.
And the lawsuit will be failure to investigate?
Failure to investigate.
And you will be suing who?
The police department and the district attorney for wrongfully prosecution.
Okay. So that's underway, or that you're just trying to find a lawyer who will
Wrongful prosecution.
Get the records, and then you'll proceed if that happens.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
But and see, that's where the system's so messed up. It's like, if we went through all this, I should be able to get all of those documents. That should be my right. But they gonna hold it because they know 9 times out of 10 they slipped somewhere and did something they wasn't supposed to do. You feel me?
Is there a certain amount of time they could legally hold it and have to release it, or?
Nah, they do not have to release all of the court documents. They do not have to release them. It's strict, and they try their best. Every lawyer I'm sitting with, like, they gonna try their best to not release those documents. Wow. So that's gonna be a fight before I can even get deep into the lawsuit.
Well, that's another key piece of the story. So, keep writing this book, man, because I feel like it's gonna come to fruition as far as you getting it on TV, documentary.
Yeah, I'm shopping my life story to a few different people, and whoever want to do the best situation with me, that's who I'm gonna rock with.
Yeah, because you got a crazy story.
We appreciate you sharing it right here on the BallerAlert show.
Straight up.
Before we get out of here, though, we do have a pep talk.
What's poppin'? I go by the name of Hurricane. I come from Louisiana, and I made it to Atlanta. You dig what I'm saying? I just want to let everybody know to have faith. Keep your head up. Don't get sidetracked by no negativity. Keep God first. I'm sliding for Jesus. New clothing line coming soon. Slide for Jesus. That's it. I ain't gonna talk too much, because if you talk too much, you lying.